All right, take it away.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce everybody to my good friend, Ted Hannock. Ted is an integrative health practitioner, hydration expert. He's so super inspiring just in his generosity to share his knowledge and help people find their way to true health and healing. So let me just introduce Ted.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So yeah, pleasure to be here. Thank you for coming to our CrossFit event here. And so I want you to ponder today your water. What is it that you're doing in terms of your health and wellness and the impact that your water is having on your overall health picture? You know, what is it you're drinking and what are the implications of that? Grab my clicker here. So I wanted to introduce myself. You probably don't know maybe too much about me, but my name is Ted Hannock. That's me in the middle, obviously. That's my lovely wife, Ashley, and my son, Harrison. And there's a little bit about my story and kind of how I got involved in this Kangen water stuff. So I want to give you a little bit of background. So when I was growing up as a kid, this is my dad here, and we were watching Rocky movies, doing push-ups, and I was always like health and fitness and stuff was a big part of my childhood. But unfortunately, I really grew up basically on the standard American diet. I ate a lot of burgers and French fries and Coca-Cola and watched a lot of cartoons. You know, it was a great time, but you can see the result. When I graduated from college here, I was kind of overweight and out of shape, and I didn't really know like how to get my health back. So I went on a journey. I tried surfing a bunch. I was into cross-country running, and I did cycling and mountain biking. And then I got really into CrossFit. So CrossFit has been, you know, this is like my people here. This has been like the heart and soul of kind of me coming into my own. And I got heavily involved with CrossFit. I was doing powerlifting competitions. I did CrossFit competitions. I was coaching for a while. I considered opening my own CrossFit box. I was so passionate about it that I thought about making CrossFit my career. So CrossFit really taught me a lot about pushing through boundaries and thinking about your own self-limiting beliefs and realizing that you actually can accomplish more than you believe you can accomplish. So CrossFit's been a really big part of my life, and that's why it's such an honor to be presenting here at CrossFit. So my Kangen story. So I'm an integrative health practitioner. I'm always researching. I'm learning new things. And I had an old friend reach out to me and she said, "Hey, have you ever heard of this water?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know anything about this water. I've never heard of this water." And at first I was a little bit dismissive of it. I'm like, you know, I don't know what that is and I'm doing just fine. And she said, "No, you really want to take a good look at it. Why don't you look at it, research it, and then make a decision about it?" So I said, "Okay, I'll let it in. I'll research it. I'll take a look." And I watched a bunch of videos. I read a bunch of books. And I invested in a machine based purely on curiosity. I'd never drank the water, and I was just curious how that was going to impact me and my community, my family, and because the stuff I was reading was unbelievable. I was like, this water seems like something that really everybody deserves to have. So I got the machine, and within 24 hours, I felt like my energy levels just like took a major jump. I felt like somebody flipped my light switch on. And I was doing CrossFit workouts. You know, I'm not able to make it in here as much as I used to. I used to work out all the time. And I remember I was doing heavy deadlifts one day, and I got home and I figured I'm gonna be like crippled tomorrow because I'm not working out like that. I still think I can go really heavy. And the next day I woke up and I'm like, I'm fine. And I'm like, holy cow, like my recovery is completely different. Some of the other things I've noticed is like my cognition feels brighter. I feel like I'm like, just everything's kind of firing better. My energy levels feel like they're back to where they were when I was in my 20s. So I've just been super passionate about sharing this with anybody that'll listen, because it's like, this is something everybody I feel deserves to have. So I've just been sharing it with anybody that'll listen, giving water away, doing demos like this. I mean, I can't even believe, you know, I've only been doing this for 6 months and here I am presenting this material. This is how passionate I am about sharing this opportunity, because I really believe that if you fast forward 10, 20 years, everybody will have this device in their home. And so that's my commitment, is to help people to get it, because people deserve to have it. So who's drinking this water, right? Like, you know, there's zero advertising for Kangen water. You would never see this ad on TV about Kangen water. The only way you would ever know about it is through conversations like this. Look, we're talking about it, I'm sharing my experience. But hey, look at the people that are already enjoying this water and have been for a long time. You know, a lot of top celebrities, top athletes are already drinking this water. The Seattle Seahawks, they all drink this water. The LA Dodgers, Bill Gates. I mean, the list is endless. Just those regular folk, we don't know about it until it comes through and somebody's telling you about it and you're able to partake in it and learn about it. So Enagic, the company that makes Kangen water, is the gold standard. They're certified as a medical device by the Japanese Ministry of Labor and Welfare. It's used in hundreds of Japanese hospitals in Canada and Germany, thousands of restaurants, and it has a seal of approval by the Japanese Association for Preventative Medicine for Adult Diseases. And that is composed of over 6,500 doctors, surgeons, and specialists. So they are also an original equipment manufacturer, and they are ISO certified. So if you want to talk about the ionizer market, you're looking at the Mercedes-Benz of the ionizer market. They are an original equipment manufacturer, and what that means is they make everything in-house, all the way down to the cardboard box that they ship it to you in. It's all made under one roof. So let's look at Japan. Japan is typically in life expectancy coming out at number 1 or number 2, and you can see us down here, we're number 46 for life expectancy. And I have some other charts that I gave a different health talk, and we spend the most and our health outcomes are pretty bad. So something we're doing in this country isn't really working, and let's think about that today. I've actually seen the numbers down in the 50s. If you look at more current statistics, we're down in the 50s. So we're not moving in the right direction in this country. I mean, we're coming in behind Cuba, Lebanon, Poland, Barbados, the Czech Republic, and we really need to take some ownership over our own health and wellness. And this water technology, that's why when I saw this, I just jumped in with both feet, because it's something that's such an easy fix for people. You just change your water, you can change your life, you know, like change your water, change your life. And then it's like I can talk to you about your diet, your exercise protocol, and all of a sudden it's like you're more invested in it because you're feeling better. So let's talk very briefly about how the machine works on a very general sense. So it goes through a 3-stage carbon filter here, and then the water travels over these plates, and that disassociates the water molecule. And basically what you get is you get an alkaline side and an acidic side. And when the water is disassociated like that, it takes an immense amount of power, and that's why the machine has a medical certification based on the power on the plates. And when the water goes through that process, it imparts all this health-giving properties onto the water. It's actually recreating the ancient glacial waters of the Hunza people. So it's, when people think like it's weird, it's coming out of a machine with all this electricity. Well, this happens when lightning strikes water, or replicating it basically at the bottom of a waterfall, and it's replicating ancient glacial waters, which are some of the waters that the longest-lived people on the planet are partaking in. So the properties of ionized alkaline water is an antioxidant. It reduces the stress from free radicals, it balances the body or alkalizes the body, and it's better absorbed and it's super hydrating. So it's a superior source of water for the body. And we're water. So this is why when I saw this, I'm like, this is like so crucial, right? Look, we're 75% water. Your brain is 80%, your lungs are 90%, your eyes are 95%. Like, how are you flushing this system? If you imagine your body like a fish tank and your cells are the fish, it's imperative, like, how are you cleaning that tank? If you had a fish tank and you basically change the water, you know, every 6 months or a year, the water would look a certain way, right? But if you did that every week or every month, you would have a lot more healthy fish, and when you change your water, you have healthier cells. And on top of that, all these like single-serving plastic water bottles, we're all becoming more and more aware that this is something we've only been doing this for a short time, you know, like 1 or 2 generations, but look at what we're creating in the environment. You know, there's these massive islands of plastic waste in the ocean, and this whole philosophy of single-serving plastic, or just our relationships to plastic in general, needs to be reevaluated. This guy's sitting here trying to wade through all this plastic, and it's becoming a real problem because the plastic will eventually break down in the water, breaks down into little tiny fragments, and the fish think it's food. The fish eat the little plastic, and then we eat the fish. So we're actually introducing this plastic into our food supply, and this is like you see cancer rates are approaching 1 and 2, and the estrogenic properties of plastics is what's creating all these estrogenic cancers in the environment. So something we really need to rethink. So an antioxidant. So does anybody know what an antioxidant is? Everybody's trying to get antioxidants into their diet. When you think about that, everybody thinks blueberries, right? Or green tea. And antioxidant would mean it's good for you. It's basically staving off or slowing down the aging process. So it's oxidizing. The way I think about this, if I took an apple and I cut it in half and I put it on the counter here, it would turn brown. It would oxidize or rust. So the same thing is happening with us. we have hemoglobin in our blood, we have iron in our blood, so we too rust. We'll oxidize. Your tools will tell you the same thing. You put them out in the rain, they're going to rust. So basically what we're trying to do is stave off that rusting process. And so what we want to get into our diet is antioxidants. So an oxidant would be something that's aging you faster. So an example of that would be like these bottled waters, tap waters, sports drinks, sodas, and these are a positive number. So I have an ORP meter here, and what that means is an oxidative reduction potential meter. And so what we'll do is we'll take a look at some of these liquids and see if they're aging us faster, if it's a positive number, or if it's an antioxidant and it's a negative number. So like we talked about, like an example of an antioxidant would be vitamin C, green tea, cod liver oil. And the Kangen water, when I pour it fresh, a lot of times at home and I check it, I'm getting like negative 875. So that makes it the strongest antioxidant in liquid form on the planet. So let's take a look at some of these liquids real quick. So Sprite, this basically represents all soda, but I just got a clear one so we can get a better look at it. So soda, we all know that soda is something to be avoided. I mean, it has high fructose corn syrup, citric acid, sodium benzoate. A lot of them have caramel color. The caramel color is actually a carcinogen, so it's a known cancer causer. The high fructose corn syrup is genetically modified, and it's something that you really don't want to have into your diet. Creates leaky gut. Pellegrinos, a lot of people, myself included, before I really researched this, I thought this was a pretty healthy drink. But we're going to learn about Pellegrino today. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
I'm Ted.
I met you once before, didn't I?
I don't think so. But it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And what was your name?
Oh, Chris Reese.
Chris.
Did this once about a year ago.
You? What do you mean? You did it?
No. I was a potential customer.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. All right, just thought I'd check it out. Thanks.
All right. Is that the guy from the track?
Yeah.
Oh. He was walking and he came over.
Yeah.
I got you.
I asked him.
He's also, he stopped in here one day and asked about CrossFit as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, I think he was walking that day and just saw that the gym was open and came over.
Check it out.
Yeah.
So Dasani, I just poured Dasani. So Dasani is actually banned in Europe. So they were caught in 2007 putting tap water into these bottles and selling it to the public. So they were busted for doing that. And so-
Dasani's a Coca-Cola product, right? And Aquafina's Pepsi, if I'm
Correct.
not mistaken.
Yeah. Hey, there he is.
What's up?
How's it going?
Jay Hall.
I don't want to mess up your video.
No, you're good. Just grab a seat.
Yeah, just stay out of it.
I don't want to photobomb it.
Have a seat.
So we got Fiji water. Here's smart water. So this is advertised as an antioxidant. So this should be a negative number. And then we got Kangen water over here.
I think I've got some Whole Foods electrolyte water in my car.
Oh, bring it in. We should test it. All right, let's take a look. We'll start down here with Sprite. Sprite's coming in here about dropping to like 640. Positive.
The wrong direction.
Yes. This is an oxidant. Gatorade. We're about 610. Pellegrino. We're dropping. We're about 550. These are all positive. Dasani. About 540. Aquafina. Very similar. 540-ish. Fiji. Dropping. 490. Smart water. Coming back up a little bit. 480. And then we got Kangen water here. This is a negative 810 or so. You guys see that?
And when did you bottle that? Just somewhere
I
over
bottled that this morning when I was at the house. So you can see very clearly, that's why when you go to the store, it's impossible to bottle this water. you'll never see this water in the snow because it only lasts in the bottle for about 3 days. And it's very sensitive to light, it's sensitive to movement. It has all that electricity imparted onto the water, and that makes it fragile. So it's something you really have to have fresh. All right, let's take a look at the next slide. So pH. So pH is a really important thing that we all got to be cognizant of, because in the standard American diet, or SAD, most people are eating, standard American diet, we're eating a lot of burgers, French fries, Coca-Cola, all the meats and cheeses are very acidic. So what happens is our blood has a static pH, we're slightly alkaline, about 7.4, and so the blood will stay at that point. It fights to stay at 7.4. So if you're eating a very acidic diet, the body will pull minerals from your connective tissue, your vital organs, your bone, to stave off all that acidity. So basically you want to have a balance and be more on the alkaline side. It's really vital and really important. When we're born, we come out and we're alkaline. When the blood goes acidic, we die. So that's what we call a clue. You want to basically be more alkaline. So let's take a look at these drinks over here and see if they're giving us pH of acidity or of alkaline. So the soda, look at that, very acidic. Soda is very acidic. It's like a 3. The Gatorade, same story. Pellegrino, surprisingly, same story. Dasani, Aquafina, Fiji. So Fiji is not a bad water. It's coming in here about 7 or an 8. But remember, it was also an oxidant, and it's coming to you in a plastic bottle. And a lot of times these bottles, I'll look sometimes at the grocery store, I'll be like, when was this bottle? And sometimes it's been 6 months, sometimes it's been a year, sometimes it's been a year and a half. And you don't know if that thing, if it came and sat in a warehouse, and it was 85 degrees in there, and it traveled from God knows where. So all that plastic that's because water is a natural solvent, and it transports. So it's slowly breaking down that bottle, and then you're absorbing that plastic. Let's take a look at Smart Water. So Smart Water also very acidic. And then we have Kangen water here, with this royal purple, just beautiful, 9.5. So a lot of people think, okay, cool, I'll go to the store and I'll buy alkaline water, right? Because that'll give me a higher pH. But the pH of the water at the store is basically a result of them adding chemicals like sodium bicarbonate. I could take lye and bleach and add that to tap water and make alkaline water. So it's very fundamentally different. That's a chemical change, and this is a molecular change. Basically, it's the pH is a result of the potential hydrogen. So it's hydrogen-rich water. That's really what you're after, is the molecular hydrogen. That's why people are getting all this kind of extra energy. It's a fuel source for your mitochondria. It's really, really special.
The space shuttle runs on hydrogen.
So let's take a look. Let's imagine.
So if it's good enough for the space shuttle, it's good enough for me, right?
Exactly. What's that?
I mean, that's what rocket fuel is liquid hydrogen.
Yeah, that's what you need for CrossFit.
Yeah.
A little hydrogen. So let's say you're a smart water drinker and you're curious, like, well, how long will it take before I alkalize or I feel the difference in this water? And boom, it happens very rapidly. Fiji, same thing. Aquafina, your body will alkalize very quickly. Dasani, same thing. So Pellegrino, watch this, don't blink. It tries to alkalize, but it can't. Pellegrino, surprisingly, is basically just a bottle full of acid. So Pellegrino is almost the same as soda, basically. Gatorade.
Thanks a lot.
Can't even budget. Sprite. Can't budget. So Sprite and all sodas are so acidic that it would take basically 33 glasses of fresh Kangen water to offset 1 glass of soda. So soda is super, super acidic. So if you want to live a healthy life and have energy, avoid soda. So let's take a look. Let's say you're a Kangen water here, you're feeling good. You're at a party, you're like, you know what, I'm going to have a little soda.
Let's try one of those fittings.
I'm going to have a little
Yeah.
soda here.
Grab one of those.
I'm gonna grab a Fit 8.
Sure. So you see how one sip,
Or one of those O2 things too, if you want.
one sip of soda, diluted soda, will ruin all these drinks. So soda is really something to be avoided if you want to live a healthy life. But we're gonna test out the water. Is it clear?
Yeah, all those are clear. Or what about that gold water too?
We tested that last time. The gold water was pretty good. It was sort of like probably like the Fiji. Try this one too. This is zero sugar Fit Aid. It has all kinds of
Open it up.
stuff in there. And this is another recovery drink that's probably orange.
That was clear. Okay, let's see. Acid. So I already poured in here, but I guarantee you, let's see.
We should do the ORP meter on it.
All right, let's check the ORP. Review this. Negative. It's going negative.
Slightly negative.
So maybe almost neutral.
It's also freezing cold, right? Or
Yeah, it's cold. Yeah, it's cold.
So that may throw it off, but it is negative. It's negative 60 something. This one,
Back up around 500.
this one's like 500. So there you go. What was that one?
The orange, the one you just tested there, that's the O2.
That was negative.
So
It's
the
like
Fit
negative
Aid is
70.
not quite as bad.
Let's see.
The Fit Aid not as quite as bad. Well, it was neutral on the what is it, ORP?
It was,
It wasn't a positive oxidant.
so which one do you want me to check? I'm gonna run out of combi water here. You want me to check this one or this one?
What are you gonna do?
pH. Let's see if it neutralizes.
Oh yeah.
Want this one?
Yeah.
Acidic.
Yeah.
So the RP looked decent, but it's still acidic.
Right.
All right. Let's move over here. All right, let's move on. So Dr. Otto Warburg discovered in 1931, he got the Nobel Prize for discovering the root cause of cancer. And he said cancerous tissues are acidic, whereas healthy tissues are alkaline. So really a clue, this guy discovered basically how to stave off cancer, be more alkaline. So we need to be more alkaline in our diet, which is basically fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. And what's acidic is basically everything else. So eating more of a plant-based organic diet and obviously having more alkaline water. So let's talk about how this water is superior in terms of hydration. Let me get these out here real quick. All right. Let me get this AT. So what I'm going to do is I want to show you basically how this water hydrates to a superior level. So if you think of regular water, like tap water or bottled water, has a molecular size of 15 to 20 molecules kind of clumped together. So imagine your cells, your hydration represents like a chain link fence. So if I'm trying to throw a softball or a bunch of softballs through that chain link fence, basically none of them are going to pass through. Whereas this water, since it's gone through the ionization process, the molecular structure is basically 4 to 6 molecules clumped together. So that makes it sort of like BBs. There's no BBs through that chain link fence. So it gets into the cells just like that. So imagine this tea bag here, let's imagine this is like our brain. We're trying to hydrate our brain, and we're trying to get some water into our cells and into our body. So if I take Fiji, and I try to make green tea, so it's not making green tea. Does anybody know why? Why can't we make green tea with cold water? When do you make, how do you make green tea typically at home? What do you do?
Heat up water and
You
put the
gotta
tea
heat
back
up the
in.
water, right? Exactly. So when you heat up the water, what happens is eventually it creates steam and it dissipates. So we've all made tiny water. So basically what we need is we need a smaller water molecule to penetrate that tea bag. So I take the tea and I put it over here, get my Kangen water. We get instant green tea. So it's able to penetrate that tea bag instantly. Say, okay, cool. You say, okay, you got that tea bag wet. You kind of got it set for us. I think I'll put it over here. Same story. Pour in the Kangen water. And boom, we get instant green tea. So we'll put this, let's see, I'm running out of cups. So I put a few drops in here, a few drops in here. You say, okay, this is like, let's say you like to take supplements, and you're going to take some supplements. So if I add some water to your supplements, you're just diluting your supplements. You're not actually getting any value out of your supplementation. If I add some Kangen water to your supplementation, it's going to amplify whatever you add to it. So you're getting more value and more absorption from your supplementation. So it's super absorbable. So whatever you pair it with, it'll heighten. That's why when I give water to people, I give people 9.5 as a sample. And I say, hey, if you're taking pharmaceutical drugs, you got to buttress the water away from pharmaceutical drugs because it'll make the pharmaceuticals more powerful. It's more absorbable. So 2.5, the machine doesn't just make drinking water, it also makes a 2.5, a strong acidic water, and that can be used topically. So you can use it as a mouthwash and a gargle, soak your toothbrushes, a water pick for your teeth and gums. You can spray your counter, you can use it on athlete's foot. It's good for food poisoning, salmonella, MRSA, E. coli. So the 2.5 strong acidic water is independently lab tested to kill over 100 organisms. That's faster than bleach. And this is Dr. Peggy Parker, and she has a series of books all about protocols with using this water. So just incredible, and there's so many uses for this water. Skin conditions, for basic skincare, acne, blisters and burns, cut, scrapes and wound care, diaper rash, eczema, dermatitis, rosacea, shingles. There's uses for your eyes, for flushing the eyes, for your hair, for your ears. I mean, there's just so many uses. Nasal, so you can use it as a neti pot, because it'll knock out, if you've got a cold or a sinus thing going on, you can put it in the neti pot, it'll flush that out. Oral health, digestive disorders, food poisoning, yeast infection. I mean, the uses are endless. There's lots and lots of uses medically, basically, to use it topically. So let's I got some pictures of some examples. So here's psoriasis before and after. So this is used.
Is that with the acid water?
Yeah, the 2.5, correct. And then here's eczema before and after. Here's MRSA before and after. So it'll actually kill MRSA. So MRSA is a flesh-eating bacteria that's in hospitals.
Talk to Rob about that.
So the 2.5 will actually knock out MRSA. It's non-toxic. So it also makes an 11.5. So 11.5 is a strong ionized alkaline water, and that can be used for your laundry detergent, removes pesticides from produce, it's for brushing your teeth, it emulsifies oils. So it has lots and lots of uses for the 11.5. So let me break out, do a little demo for the 11.5. So these are just regular cherry tomatoes I bought at the store. And so I'm just basically going to put these in here and take a look at how the 11.5 can wash our produce. So this is what we do, right? We get home, we go, okay, I gotta rinse these off. Let's use Dasani. So I'll use Dasani on these. Just rinse these off. And then I'll use some 11.5 over here. Give these a little shake, let them sit for a minute. And while it's doing that, let me show you kind of what's happening here. So this is just some sesame oil. And I just want to basically show you kind of what's happening with the tomatoes. So this is just a dark oil so we can kind of see it. So oil and water, we learned this in elementary school, oil and water don't what?
Mix.
They don't mix, right? So oil and water don't mix. We all know that. But if I take the 11.5, oil and water don't mix, but I mean, wow, look at that. Isn't that crazy? The first time I saw it, I was like, man, that is insane. So it completely emulsifies oil. This is why when people are drinking this water, they're detoxing, they're dropping some weight, they're getting more energy. I mean, the water, look what it does to the oil-based pesticides and stuff. It just takes it completely off. So let's take a look really quick, talk a little bit about organic food. So this is organic versus conventional. So this is crazy to me, mind-blowing. This is what they're doing to our food. That's not salad dressing up there. You know, they're spraying our food. And this is the philosophy that we're living under, where, you know, these unfortunate people, too, that have to do this. You know, they got to be exposed to all these chemicals. A lot of them become sterile because they're not able to reproduce after being around all those chemicals. And they got to wear these hazmat suits. And glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup, has been proven to cause non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So this is what they're putting on our food. So, you know, I feel really strongly that we all need to come together, do our best to get this stuff off of our food, and take more ownership over growing our own food or going to the farmer's market. And, you know, I really feel strongly that all this change has to happen from the ground up, you know, from all of us. If you're looking for a solution to come from the top down, I don't think it's ever going to happen. So, really important to get aware and start making different choices. I mean, the EPA now allows up to 30 times more pesticides and herbicides because the bugs and weeds are becoming more resistant. So this whole philosophy that, like, you know, a little is good, so more must be better, you know, that's something we're living under, and it's something that we got to really rethink, because the pesticides end up in the soil, which ends up in the source water, which ends up in the rain, and we're getting acid rain, and it's a really big problem. So let's take a look at our tomatoes. All right, Dasani. Let's see how Dasani did. So let's pour out the Dasani water. Let's see what we got off these tomatoes. So pretty much nothing. It's pretty clear. So let's take a look at what the 11.5 got off of these tomatoes. Wow, look at that. That is not green tea. That is not green tea that came off of those tomatoes. I mean, when I first saw that, I was like, wow, that is incredible. I mean, that alone is worth the price of admission for this machine, to be able to do that at home. So for me, I'm all about preventative health and protecting my family, and I certainly don't want to be serving that to my family on my dinner plate. One of the things that I learned recently, which was really mind-blowing to me, is when you run stuff under your tap, if you're drinking off the tap or washing your produce in the tap, so the tap has chlorine. They put the chlorine in there to protect the pipes, not to protect you, but to protect the pipes and keep the microbes down and stuff. But what happens is the chlorine is soaked up by the produce. So if you take, like, you're soaking your produce, your potatoes, your onions, even you know, your skin is your biggest organ. So what happens is, like, actually the chlorine disappears from the water and it's sucked up into the produce. So then you go over there and you make your soup or whatever, and you have a super concentration of chlorine in the water. So something to really be aware of. All right, so the 6.0 is the beauty water. So a lot of women are going to, like, Sephora, Lancome, buying beauty water, like, as a setter for makeup and stuff. And this bottle would cost you anywhere between like 30 to 50 bucks, and your machine makes gallons of it for free. So I spray this on my face in the morning, so you can see how beautiful my skin is. So you use it on your skin, beautiful. Use it in your hair. Great for watering plants. So plants prefer slightly acidic water, so you can capture the 6.0 and give it to your plants. You replace it with Windex, great for cleaning floors without soap, and it has all kinds of uses. So I have another book Let's see. So this is another Dr. Peggy Parker book, The Chemical-Free Sanctuary. So it's all about uses in the home. So we kind of talked a little bit about the water uses, but you can, I mean, there's so many uses. It's a stain removal, fresh laundry, flooring, bathrooms, kitchens, surfaces, stainless steel appliances, porcelain sinks, refrigerator, freezer, bedrooms, cleaning closets and drawers. I mean, there's so many uses for the water in the home. It's non-toxic. So one of the things that I've had to really do in my education and learning is replace all my home products, because you start to learn like all these things are really toxic. If you have young children at home and they're playing in all this stuff, so we made a really concerted effort to get it all out of the house. And so now it's really great to have this machine that provides drinking water, but also we can use it to clean the house, and it's non-toxic. Really great. So we talked a little bit about this one already. 7.0 is a neutral water, so it's not been ionized. That's great for anybody that's taking medications, and it doesn't, it won't affect like the penetration. It won't have it so the medication goes deeper. Just clean water. So this is Dr. Shinya. So Dr. Shinya, this is his book, The Enzyme Factor. And so he is one of the best known world-renowned physicians in Japan. And he's the co-inventor of the colonoscopy. So everybody will basically become familiar with his invention at one point or another. And yeah, he is Japan's most famous doctor. He's treated Japan's royal family. And this is his book. He actually prescribes Kangen water to his patients. So it's an enzyme factor, that's his book, and basically it's a plant-based organic diet with Kangen water also as a supplementation, and he has outstanding results. And he says in his book here, Kangen water is alkaline rich and is considered the very best drinking water because of its incomparable powers of hydration, detoxification, and antioxidation. And on the back here he says drinking Kangen water can help cure obesity. So this is a fascinating book all about his philosophy, and he prescribes Kangen water. So let's take a look at some of his results. So these are patients, 45 is on the left here. I know it's a little graphic, but it's good to get educated here. 45-year-old female, breast cancer, chronic constipation before and after. So the Kangen water is able to draw out and break up all that mucoid plaque and clear out the colon. And I can say for myself, I mean, I don't know TMI, but I feel like my digestion, it's like firing, just like this. It's just, I feel like, and the healthier colon is really the health of you. You know, if your colon isn't clean and you're eating a lot of these kind of like things that'll clog it up, all these cheeses and meats and very acidic diet, I've read that Dr. Shinya, he can do a colonoscopy, and basically just by that, he can tell you what your diet is, what expression of disease you have, just based on looking at your colon. So really important to have a way to cleanse that. So here's another one here. This is a 52-year-old male with prostate cancer after 3 months of treatment. And it's like there's endless pictures like this where it's like the left side is dark and black, and you wouldn't want to live like that. And on the right is pink and healthy, pink and healthy, pink and healthy. So it's moving towards it's alkaline, moving towards an alkaline diet and drinking Kangen water. So this is Dr. William Faulkner, and he was diagnosed with prostate cancer and ulcerative colitis. The latter condition resulted in bowel obstruction, hospitalization, and threatened colon removal. After drinking Kangen water for 3 days, nightly diarrhea resolved and has not returned in 2.5 years, and I'm off steroids. None of my physicians recommended or approved my drinking Kangen water since they'd never heard of it. So I have a lot of people, they'll see this presentation, they'll ask their doctor about Kangen water, and the doctor's like, well, I don't recommend that, I've never heard of it before. Well, your doctor may or may not be a hydration expert, right? They're going to follow what they've been told and what their pharmaceutical they're prescribing. So I hate for this technology to be something that would actually change and evolve your health picture, and you didn't even at least give it a try, give it a look. So pets also love alkaline water. So basically, you know, pets get the exact same benefit that we do. So when we got the machine, I did the proverbial test. I put out tap water, I put out the 9.5, and my dog went right for 9.5. It's mind-blowing. Somehow they know that that's the good stuff. So I have a short little video here I want to show you guys. Make sure my audio is on.
Most likely, people do not sense any particular difference between naturally pure and artificially purified water. But any animal will always choose water from a spring, because this water is loaded with natural energies. When scientists studied this high mountain environment in places where water is known for its healing properties, like Lourdes in France, they made an important discovery. They found that the pH level of these waters was highly ionized and very alkaline. While studying water, researchers exposed ordinary water to magnetically charged plates, creating a simple method of ionization, separating water into two streams, one alkaline and one acidic. The water from the alkaline stream significantly improves hydration because it is easier for the body to absorb. Water from tap or bottled sources is usually clustered in groups of 11 to 16 water molecules. During ionization, the water molecules are reduced to only 5 to 8 molecules per cluster. The percentage of oxygen increases significantly, which can be almost double the amount of tap or bottled water, allowing the body to maintain a proper pH balance.
Our lifespan is directly proportional to the amount of antioxidants we have in our body. And water is an important carrier of antioxidants. If you drink water that has large quantities of hydrogen, along with the right surface tension and right mineral content, then it will slow down the aging process. It will keep our mitochondria from dying, which provide us with the energy of life. And so we can expect to live longer. Essentially, it is said that we should live to be about 120 years old, and we often die long before that. So no one really dies of natural causes if they die younger than that. They die of dehydration.
What is acidic pH? What is acid? Acid is devoid of electrons, free electrons. What is alkali? Alkali is full of electrons. So our body should be slightly alkaline. What it means? It means that our body should contain enough electrons or hydrogen atoms, if you like, which we combine with oxygen. If we are acidic, then oxygen flows in, flows out, and uses. If you don't have fuel, oxygen is useless.
pH is a very important factor in overall health. To stay in balance, the body has to maintain its pH level because we're continuously generating acid wastes. When we eat, nutrients are transported to our cells and then burnt with oxygen, resulting in waste products that are almost always acidic. In a healthy body, our blood would pick up these wastes and carry them through the liver, kidneys, colon, or skin before removal. But worry, poor sleep, and food choices, and environmental challenges limit our body's ability to remove acidic waste quickly enough. So the body compensates and transforms acidic waste to solid waste, storing the solid waste in less dangerous areas like arteries, and especially fat tissues. The doctor is drawing blood from a patient's finger. Using a special microscope, we shall be able to see the condition of her body from this drop.
These are red blood cells, and they've lost their electrical charge, so they're all stuck together in a formation called a rouleau. There's a huge symplast. Symplasts are associated with heart disease and many other conditions that could be coming in the future.
The doctor asks the patient to drink a small amount of structured water. After 12 minutes, the doctor again draws blood from the patient and studies it.
So you can see that the cells then become buoyant, they become slippery, and they have their electrical charge, so they repel each other. That allows them to carry oxygen, and it means that we're changing the pH of the blood. I think that's utterly amazing, that just drinking water can do that.
All right, yeah, it's fascinating technology. I've been just, like I said, I've been doing this for 6 months. I've just been immersing myself in the science to learn more and more about it. Because like I said in the beginning, when I first got the machine, within 24 hours, I just felt like, man, I feel incredible. I feel like so much energy. I feel like it's back to where I was when I was in my 20s. So I just have been like unabashedly, I want everybody to, have this, because they deserve to have the energy that I have. And so it's amazing what changing your water will do for you. I can speak to my own results. Basically, it's just I feel like I sleep better, I feel like my recovery, like I said, from workouts is better. I feel like overall my vitality is better. I mean, I'm 46 years old. I got a 2.5-year-old son. I got another baby on the way. So I'm fully invested in preventative health. Thank God, never had a presentation of any sort of disease. But I really want to be as vital and as strong for as long as possible. And so I know, CrossFit audience, it's the same kind of mentality, right? You want to have as much energy and vitality for as long as possible. So here's the machine. So it's a tax write-off. So it actually costs you more money to not own it than to own it. You can write the entire thing off, or you can take a depreciation over a number of years, because it basically qualifies as a home-based business. It's a home-based business opportunity. So based on that, you can write off your part of your mortgage or your rent, your phone bill, your car payment, your gas and tolls, your airfare. Like if you traveled somewhere, did a presentation like this, like let's say we had a client in Hawaii, and we traveled there and showed them this, whole trip's a write-off. So amazing opportunity. This is the SD501, this is the machine right here, and I'll go through the machines here in a second. So this is the Anespa, this is the shower unit. So we talked a little bit about chlorine and how we want to avoid chlorine. So this will filter out chlorine and it puts mineral back into the water. So it's like having a mineral bath at home. It's an incredible thing to have at home. And I know people on the team that travel with that. They won't leave it anywhere. So they put it in their bag, they bring it with them. It's easy. You bring a wrench, you can undo the shower head at the hotel and hook this thing right up, and you got a spa right at home, right in your hotel room. So this is an entry-level unit. There's a Level Up R. So basically, as we're moving up, it's just getting better, more penetration with bigger plates and stronger millivolts, or the negative ORP. So this is an entry-level unit, 3 plates, the size of cassette tapes. It makes the drinking and beauty water. It does not make the cleaning and disinfecting waters, and that's at a negative 250. This is the Junior 2 that has 3 plates. It makes the drinking and beauty water. It makes the cleaning and disinfecting waters, and that's at a negative 450. And so this is the flagship model that's been on the market for 30-odd years. And this is the SD501 right here. This is makes a negative 800. It has 7 plates. It makes all the waters, and you can finance it for about $50 a month. They also have a platinum edition, so if you have appliances at home that are more silver in color and you want to fit your look, it's basically the same machine. This is the machine Tom Brady owns. I can find the Instagram post where you can see him in the background, or the machine in the background. And yeah, it's been on the market a long time. These machines, like I was saying earlier, basically as long as you maintain them, keep them clean, they'll last basically a lifetime. There's machines that have been on the market for 30-odd years, and they just add another year to it because it's like they're still going strong. So it's, okay, 34 years, 35 years. Basically, I can go over the cleaning procedures. They're very simple. As long as you maintain it, there's no moving parts. So very, very much like you make the investment once, you'll have it for the rest of your life. This is the SD501U. So this one basically goes underneath the counter. Some people don't like to see the unit. I think it looks cool, but some people don't want to see it. So this is basically the same internals as the SD501, but it goes underneath the counter of the sink. This is the machine that I have at home. This is the K8. This is the latest and greatest, sort of like having the new iPhone. So it has a digital display, a touchscreen display. It makes all the waters, and it has 8 plates. So it has 1 more plate than the SD501, and it creates a charge of a negative 900. You can finance that for about $54 a month. This is the Super SD501, so this is more for commercial use, for like restaurants, cafes. It just makes more of the 2.5 and 11.5, and it makes it just in larger quantities. Other than that, it's the same as the SD501. So you have lots of payment options. The machines are obviously an investment, so you can finance it. Very easy financing. That's what I did with mine. The Magic offers a 30-day money-back guarantee minus a restocking fee. So for 30 days, you could get this at home, try it for 30 days. And I've never heard of anybody sending it back, but you obviously could. You could try it for 30 days. You just would have to pay a few $100 restocking fee. So you can buy it by cash, credit card, or check. And like I said, you can finance it with no money down with one of the many financing options. So these are the top 2 that I recommend to people. This is the American Express Blue Cash Reward, and you get $250 cash back, and you can finance that for $54 a month, 15 months, no interest. This is the one that I did. This is the Chase Freedom Card. It's 0% for 15 months, and it's $54 a month, and you get cash back as well with this card. The application process takes 5 minutes or less. So there's also, if you don't want to have like a credit check, or some people are like in the process of maybe buying a home and they don't want to have inquiry on their credit, so you can also do a Magic financing. They do their own in-house financing. They feel very strongly they don't want to turn anybody away from this technology. So it's just a larger down payment, approximately $1,000, and then you would make anywhere between $100 to $200 a month payment towards the machine. So people leave here and they go, hey, that was cool, I'm gonna get on the internet, I'm gonna type in Kangen water, I'm gonna do a little research, and the competition loves us because I try to educate people and give them all this information, and then you go out there and you see like, oh, it's a scam, and don't buy it till you read this, and blah, blah, blah. Well, basically, they're just trying to capture the buzz of the Kangen water, and they're trying to basically market something that's less expensive. But you get what you pay for, so you got to be really wary of what's out there because none of them have medical certification. They'll tell you, hey, we got a lifetime warranty. But if you go to a place like Alibaba, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but you can source products from China. So I can make the Ted Hannock ionizer from Alibaba, get 500 units, pay like $300 a piece, put them on the market, charge $1,500, say, hey, lifetime warranty, but it was all manufactured in China, God knows where, and doesn't hold up, doesn't do anything, but lifetime warranty, and then when it doesn't work out, I'll move on to doing something else, right? Kind of wash my hands of the whole business. So you can see basically the difference is in the plates. So there's a lot of science behind basically the power supply and the plates. And you can't really cheap out on these things. They got to be very specific.
You want to be in the movie? You want to be in the movie?
So you can see basically on the left there, like how different, like that's the Magic plate. Very solid, very robust. And the competition will make these mesh plates. They punch it out because they can make hundreds of machines based on the precious metals that's in one Kangen machine. So you see what happens is with the inferior power supply, it'll degrade the plates and then you're opening yourself up to heavy metal toxicity. So you don't really want to play around with this stuff. You want to make sure you get the best. So you can see again, look how different the size of the plate is. And if the one on the right does create any kind of ionization, it'll basically degrade over time. And you'll be stuck with a machine that you paid less money for, but something you obviously now you got to like reinvest in something else and offload something you bought because you didn't research it enough. There's another picture, you can just kind of see the difference in the plates. So Magic is triple gold seal certified by the International Authority on Water Quality. Like I said, they're ISO and original equipment manufacturer. They have all the certifications you could possibly imagine. This is actually classified as medical equipment. So it's medical equipment that you bring home. This actually started in Japan. The units were huge and they had them in hospitals and people wanted them so badly to bring home that they manufactured and bring them smaller so people could actually put them in their home. That's how this all began. And then for those of you that want to make a difference and want to join in this movement, because I look at this as a global movement, the only way you'd ever hear about this is through conversations like this. So yeah, it's basically an opportunity to share this technology, share the opportunity, and the company says thank you by sending you a referral check. So you can build a part-time or a full-time income off of this opportunity. So this is Mr. Oshiro, and he's based this global movement on 3 simple principles: realizing true physical health, true financial health, and realizing true peace of mind. So that's my presentation, and I hope you got some value from this information. I'm super happy to be able to present it to you guys. I thank you for your time. If there's any questions or anything, I brought a machine, and I can actually hook it up in the back if you guys want to get
Good,
water.
because I have jugs.
All right, cool.
Because you have what?
Because I have my jugs.
Your jugs.
Yeah. Yeah, I brought my
So I'm also doing, I brought some, so these are, I'm always looking for ways to share this water that's kind of easy.
Yeah.
So I got these, I was just in California at a place that has all kinds of accessories for the water. So these are water bags and it holds the charge better. This is the hardest part about sharing this technology is that the water has an electrical charge and it dissipates after 2 or 3 days. So yeah, the best thing to do is get the water as fresh as possible and to commit to drinking a gallon a day. So what I do is I do 30-day trials. So if you want to do a 30-day free, totally free. I'm literally just, I want people to experience this, and I want testimonials, and I want stories, basically. Because the stories that come back are mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Like Bobby Jo, she invested in a machine. She has stories from her family, her husband Russ. I just captured his testimony the other night, and I didn't even fully know what benefits he's gotten. Do you want to speak briefly about the benefits you've gotten from the machine?
Well, I guess we'll start with his trigger finger. He was always having to basically unhinge his finger whenever he would make a fist. Joint pain is reduced. Sugar has come down. Blood pressure has come down. He's just almost a whole new person. Energy levels went up. My son has Asperger's. 2 weeks on the water, the first thing he says to me, which was never really a conversation we had, he said, "My brain doesn't race anymore." And I thought, oh my gosh. I said, You know, I mean, I know he has trouble focusing, but I said that was something you always dealt with. He said the only way I could get it to stop was to look out the window.
Wow.
So that was kind of my push. I'm like, okay, I need to do for my kid. But as far as myself, it's just been energy, tremendously less joint pain. I mean, where before I would kind of want to nap, or, you know, it was kind of lazy. Now my feet hit the floor, and I'm good until I want to go to bed. Then I have
Oh,
about
so
3
she's
seconds.
joining CrossFit gym.
There you go, yeah. But, so it's been life-changing for my family, absolutely.
So, thank you for sharing. So basically what I do is like, if you'd like, I'll do a 30-day trial, and the bags are just $20. I'll give it back to you at the end of 30 days, and basically just come to my house and fill up, or we can meet somewhere, whatever, do a little water deal.
You want to do the dog test?
Yeah, sure.
What's the dog test?
Put 2 bowls of water in front of the dog, and the dog chooses the
Is the dog thirsty?
alkaline water every time.
Yeah, he's thirsty. We've been at the park for an hour. Mom, don't
Hold
give
on,
him any
hold
of
on,
that.
Ellen. Don't give it to him yet. Fill that one up.
Bring it over here.
Bring it over here. Come here.
Yeah.
Or we'll bring another. You have some more of the Kangen water?
We're gonna hook up the machine in the back.
I don't know if he'll pick that one because he knows that's his bowl or not. Ryder?
There's only one bowl, right?
Yeah,
We'll have to put it in something else.
Probably not very
Put it in.
She said she had some.
Yeah, I've got a bottle, yeah.
Just pour a little bit in there. We'll do a little test with Ryder. What you got there? This will be fun. That's good. Basically, you just put it down.
He'll take the bowl. Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not.
Oh, my word.
Wasn't even a contest.
Straight to
He
it.
went from his tried and true black bowl straight to that.
Now let's hope he doesn't like think that he can only have that.
Now he's gonna be a water snob.
Yeah. What you did.
I'm still thirsty. That was pretty funny though.
Yeah, that was.
That was immediate.
I know. Yeah, 'cause that one's here every day. He drinks out of it. You gonna just dribble
Is that
everywhere?
good? You're just gonna dip it right?
You have some special water? Will you just stand still and I'm gonna drink it?
We made it better.
Very interested in where you're doing and what you're doing. Let's do a taste test.
Oh, is it a golden doodle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
She's not as soft and fluffy, she's a little bit curly.
He's really curly, but she comes him out.
Yeah, he just had a bathroom Friday.
Okay.
He's happy. She has this conditioner that they don't really mix
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, once I started putting conditioner in here, it makes like a world of difference. We just came from the dog park and
How
it was
much
like
does he weigh?
45.
Is he still growing? Or is he
No, he's just,
still to be?
they call him like the man poodle, so he was guarded for the man poodle, which is,
Okay.
but they said they're like the most unpredictable, so if you want to do 30 pounds or 60 pounds, so that's like 1 dog or 2 dogs. But he's right in there.
Yeah. Ours is 55.
Yeah, sometimes I wish
Some
he,
of the boys usually get bigger.
I wish he was a little taller, like
Yeah.
right now, his head doesn't quite hit my hand when we're like walking, which just look higher.
He's big enough. He's really skinny without all the fur.
Oh, yeah.
Fluffy.
I got my own.
I'm just curious how much it uses in 3 days.
The biggest benefit that I hear out of it is when I pound all of it, it's not like slopping around the place. Even if it sits for a while, I still get that energy.
Is driving like Apple and stuff? You still see?
No, I think the pesticides are clear. Great.
I imagine why they always use
So the cheaper pesticides are. But just because I'm always disgusted with this. It's not like that. It's just like dirt and grime and water. But they taste better. I'm not a big strawberry eater. And then grapes, you know, they always have that nasty thing on them. So this is
But even by the time she gets to the first stage of the morning, she's not even drinking. She's probably already drinking something like she's probably drinking 5 minutes. So she's probably pretty good.
it goes down about 50%.
That's why I was like,
I mean, really fun to learn this is for. I started.
I mean, that was like a shirt.
I love it. So I take over here, which is
So maybe,
all right. It's a front loader, so I just put it on myself. And as you put it in, it's pouring in your laundry, and then I just run regular wash. You can use up to 2 liters. I figured it wouldn't work, but it does. Our clothes are actually softer, and that smell, my washing machine is 2 years old, that smell is gone. So I guess it's kind of clean. I don't use any soaps. I don't like no tear up.
No, what is it like? So, you know, sometimes, depending on the gear, you watch it, so many times it starts cleaning.
I haven't done it enough, you know, things like that. But I do, there's no smell. I mean, they have almost a little bit of a fresh smell. Very little, but it just basically has no smell. So I just throw some essential oils in my dryer balls, get a little bit of scent, and see that that's But like, so for, we use the 11.5 on oil-based stands, and then the 2.5 on protein-based stands. So my kids' pants, they were like, they'd already been bonded, so it's in grass down. And I just served them for 2.5 and it did work. And then they played paintball a couple weeks ago, came home, mud, and water. Their clothes actually clean. So, I really, you couldn't have told me that and I would have really believed you, but I mean, I am experiencing it. So that saves me like $25.
Yeah.
When we get it out, it's booked like it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they're really good.
Do you buy those separate or?
Everybody.
Cause I know, I guess Russ had the trifold kind of thing. I guess is that kind of good?
Oh, yeah, that would be,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that can be. So it does come from a little bit, this just kind of tells you more. But it's weather. I started, I just got to go behind. So I got off my medicine before this, and now I have the water, I have the wind. But with the wind, I just took me half up. I didn't do that many pump for 2.5, and it works.
Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, it's gross, because I would do that before with salt water, and I just use that water. Not just
Yeah, because when I do it, I just use the distilled water.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean. So it's working. And then the 2.5, I mean, that's all it will. So I don't use it for my windows. I mean, I try, this because it's an investment, so I'm trying to use it to its full capacity. And there's a little.
Okay. What are you gonna do? Work out?
Yeah, just waiting on people to get me on.
Well, so it has a little tiny washer from the hose that goes into the machine, but sometimes it stays in the machine, and sometimes it comes out and stays in the screw in. And so it's not there. I don't have it. So when I turn it in, when I turn it on, the water just goes everywhere.
Harrison.
So unfortunately, I can't give you water. You're more than welcome to come by my house. I'll give you as much water as you want. I'm only like 10 minutes.
I was just wanting her to see the machines.
Hey, buddy.
That's the SD501, the one I brought. The one that I have at home is the K8. That's the same one that I have.
Yeah, we're
Hey,
not
what are you
far
doing over there on the floor?
I'm not gonna tell you my house is super clean, because, you know, it's the weekend, that's Monday. Yeah, you're welcome to come and check it out and see fresh water.
So I'm just curious, what was the biggest takeaway of the presentation? You know, you saw it live.
No. I don't think so.
Oil and stuff is
That's
like
fine.
degreasing your pans and stuff like that.
Remove those benches.
Bobby, Phil, you've gotten all into using like the waters all
That's what
around.
I was just telling them, like, yeah, I'm still a little blown away about the laundry thing.
It's amazing, right? Like,
Yeah.
is this really going to work? And
What's the one you've done?
Well, I started doing my laundry this with the water, so I use 11.5, and I put a liter of this, I make a liter of 11.5. I put it in my bleach and